Hi, my name is Ira Siegel. I'm with Honeywell Systems Group. Today we're going to be talking about the NetAXS 123 Electronic Access Control Panel. Features such as an internal web browser, USB, TCP/IP, and RS-485 communications, as well as Power over Ethernet capabilities and a modular design, provide for a simple installation and an easy system to use and operate. We're going to begin by talking about our enclosure. Our compact enclosure provides us with the ability to hold a single board. The enclosure itself gives us the capabilities of communicating with one reader and one door. The enclosure itself has the ability to communicate via USB or TCP/IP. The board also has the ability to use Power over Ethernet or an auxiliary 12-volt DC power source. The terminals on the board themselves have the ability to provide direct power, RS-485 communications to other boards downstream, and to monitor the panel tamper or the enclosure tamper itself. The board also has the ability to control two output relay devices, whether the devices be door locks or any other type of output relay. We've got the capabilities of providing either a normally open or a normally closed circuit. The terminals are also wetted, so we have the ability to provide direct 12 volts DC voltage at the terminals, preventing the need for running additional wires. We've also got the ability to have input points, whether it be a request to exit or a door position switch. And we've got the ability to tie in either a 5-wire or a 6-wire reader. We can take advantage of the tamper by using a 6-wire, and that reader has the ability to communicate back to the panel and tie a single door back to the panel to provide access at that door. The board also has a single set of dip switches. Those dip switches give us the ability to individually program these boards with a separate address, as well as set either a permanent IP address or a user-assigned IP address. The board also has the ability to determine whether we're going to be using normally open or normally closed contacts, each individually depending upon the output relay that we're going to be using, as well as to determine whether we're going to be using the auxiliary power source for power, or if we're going to be providing the power through our self-wetted contacts directly through the power source provided for the panel itself. The panel also has an internal tamper switch. That tamper switch provides us with the ability to monitor the enclosure cover as well as if the whole enclosure is removed from the wall. The compact enclosure gives us the ability to protect one door with one reader. If we need to go beyond one door or we need multiple readers, we can go to the standard enclosure. The standard enclosure gives us the ability to have one door, two doors, or three doors that can be protected, all in a single enclosure. The standard enclosure comes with a 4 amp hour power supply. That 4 amp hour power supply is connected directly to an AC receptacle, which can then be plugged directly into a wall outlet. In addition, the enclosure has a standard tamper switch. That tamper switch will provide us with the ability to know if somebody has opened up the cabinet or not. The board itself gets mounted directly in the enclosure, just like the standard board got mounted in the compact enclosure. In addition, we've also got a 7 amp hour battery that compactly fits in the bottom of the enclosure. The NetAXS panel by default is a one-door system. However, we can take the NXD1 device and we can add this board directly onto the NetAXS panel. By taking this board and adding it onto a powered down NetAXS 123 panel, once we power back up the NetAXS 123 panel, we've now got a two-door system. Once the board is mounted in place, the next thing we're going to do is attach the thumb screws. With the thumb screws tightened, the next thing we need to do is power back up our panel. Once we power up our panel, the NetAXS 123 now has two readers assigned to it. The reader board itself, the NXD1, has the same exact terminal switches as we had built into our regular board. These terminals give us the capabilities of automatically tying in a reader, two output relays, as well as the door position switch and the request to exit. Power for our output relays is provided directly from our 4 amp hour power supply built into our panel. In addition to the NXD1, if we want to add two additional doors instead of one additional door, we can add the NXD2 board to the NetAXS 123 panel. That gives us the capabilities of having a total of 3 readers on a single panel. The NXD2 uses all of the same terminals and all of the same dip switch settings as the NXD1 as well as the NetAXS 123 board. Features such as the internal web browser, USB, TCP/IP, and RS-485 communications, as well as Power over Ethernet capabilities and a modular design to allow us to go from 1, 2, or 3 doors, make the NetAXS 123 an easy system to install and a simple system to operate.